Section 9.4, Spheres. What you'll learn: to find the surface area and volume of a sphere. New vocabulary: sphere. Why learn this? Well, consider if you were placed inside of a large, round object, and the only way for you to get around to find food or escape predators was to run really fast, so it would roll with you inside of it. In that example, you may want to know the volume and surface area of that sphere. Also, many objects have the shape of a sphere, including toys. To make these objects, it is helpful to know about the surface area and volume of spheres. And a check of the skills you'll need. Number 1, vocabulary review. What does a number's exponent show? And numbers 2 through 5, simplify each expression. A sphere is the set of all points in space that are the same distance from a center point. Notice this is similar to our definition of a circle, except extended into three-dimensional space rather than being on one plane. Key concepts: the surface area of a sphere. The surface area of a sphere is 4 times the product of pi and the square of the radius r. So surface area, sometimes denoted with the acronym S period A period, equals 4 pi r squared. Example problem 1, finding the surface area of a sphere. Find the surface area of the sphere at the right to the nearest square centimeter. Well, here we have a sphere. We can see its radius clearly labeled as being 9 centimeters. And recall our formula for the surface area of a sphere. Substitute in our value for the radius. And evaluate. Pi, not forgetting our units, of course, is our exact surface area, but notice the directions were to round our answer to the nearest square centimeter. So we should use a calculator. It's alright to approximate pi as 3.14 to find a decimal version of this solution. (1017.876). We're rounding to the nearest square centimeter, so 1018 square centimeters. So approximately equal to 1018 square centimeters. Very good. Now a quick check problem. Number 1, a sphere has a radius of 7 feet. Find its surface area to the nearest square foot. Consider a sphere with radius r inside a cylinder with radius r and a height 2r. You know how to find the volume of the cylinder. Volume of the cylinder equals capital B, or that's the area of the base of the cylinder, times lowercase h, the height of the cylinder. In this case, pi r squared times 2r, which can be simplified to 2 pi times the radius cubed. The volume of the sphere is 2/3 of the volume of the cylinder. We can also think of this as being the volume of a sphere is 2/3 of the volume of the cylinder that it fits perfectly inside of. Key concepts: volume of a sphere. The volume of a sphere is 4/3 of the product of pi and the radius r cubed. So here we have a formula, V equals 4/3 pi r cubed, for finding the volume of a sphere. Example problem 2, finding the volume of a sphere. The diameter of a sphere in a water fountain is 4 feet. Note that's diameter of a sphere. What is the volume of the sphere to the nearest cubic foot? First, it says to estimate. Use 3 for pi, and the radius, well, if the diameter was 4 feet, we know the radius to be 2 feet, and we find that the volume of the sphere is about, well, we use our formula. Volume equals 4/3 pi times the radius cubed, and we substitute in our known values. Volume equals 4/3. We're allowed to approximate or estimate pi as 3 for this problem. And radius cubed, well, our radius is 2 feet. Since we know our diameter is 4 feet, radius is then 2, and we continue to simplify. Therefore, in our approximation, 4 times 8, 32 feet, and of course in volume we're referring to cubic feet. Volume equals 32 cubic feet, and that really should be an approximately equal to, given that we were finding an estimate. Now it says to find the actual volume of the sphere. So here we can use a calculator, but we won't approximate. I'll switch colors. So we would find that volume equals, again, 4/3 pi times the radius cubed, which equals 4/3 times pi times our radius is 2 cubed, which equals 4/3 times pi times 8, and 4 times 8, remember multiplication is commutative, we can multiply these three in any order we like. 4 times 8, 32 over 3 times pi, and using a calculator, 32 divided by 3 times pi. .5 approximately, 33.5, and that is about 34 feet cubed, or cubic feet. So therefore, very close to our estimate, and our estimate is reasonable. 33.4 rounding to 34. And remember, estimation can be a very good technique to help make sure that your answer is reasonable. It can help you avoid mistakes like a decimal point in the wrong place, or a positive or negative sign out of place.